Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So now we are at the most important part of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya book, where the discussion between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai is going on. Continue reading. That yesterday we saw that when Sri Ramananda Rai mentioned that the relationship with Krishna in Madhurya Rasa is accepted to be the highest perfectional stage of love of Godhead. And then in that connection, Sri Ramananda Rai quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam what Lord Krishna says to the damsels of Vraja. Damsels of Vraja means the Vraja gopis. Devotional service to me is the life of every living entity. This is what Krishna is saying now. That devotional service to Krishna is the life of every living entity. That means it is the purpose of every Jeev Atma. Indeed, your love for me, Krishna is telling to the gopis, Vraj gopis, that your love for Krishna, their love for Krishna, is the only cause of achieving my association. Krishna is saying that, dear gopis, your love is at such a highest level or on the highest platform that your love is the cause that today you are getting my personal association at this level. And that devotional service to Krishna is the life of every living entity. And through that devotional service, when somebody reaches at the platform of love for Krishna that the Vraj Gopis had reached, then that becomes the only cause of achieving the association of Krishna. Of course, Krishna is not obliged for anything. Krishna is not obliged for anything. And just like if I do some good unto somebody, or if somebody does some good unto me, I am not obliged to reciprocate, or that person is not obliged to reciprocate. But when we have gratitude in our heart, when we feel that, oh, they have done so much, how can I reciprocate? And that's when we start reciprocating, or that's when the other person starts reciprocating. That is bonus. So Krishna is not obliged for anything to anybody. But that becomes the cause, the love for of the Vraj Gopis becomes the cause for the Vraj Gopis to achieve the personal association of Lord Krishna to that intimate level in the highest perfectional stage. It is said that Lord Krishna, in his relationship with his devotees, accepts all kinds of devotional service and then reciprocates according to the devotee's attitude. um, in in the in Jagannath Puri, there is a Leela where one devotee, very poor, but feels an intense desire that I want to offer something to the Lord, but he's so poor, has nothing. What can I offer to the Lord? I don't even have money to buy something for myself so that I can cook. So what can I offer to the Lord? So what he does is when the cooking of the Lord is complete and the pandas and the devotees have gone out of the kitchen, this devotee, this person enters the kitchen, sees whatever is left over, takes everything, makes a laddu that Jagannath, I want to offer something to you because that intense feeling that I want to serve you in some way. So whatever is left, whatever is there in the kitchen, all the peels of the vegetables and all, he takes everything, makes a laddu kind of a thing, and then cooks something, makes like a laddu, and then takes it to Jagannath. That I want to offer this to you. But now it is so hard that thinks that, okay, this is too hard for me. Therefore, Jagannath manifests a Lord Narsimhadev because Lord Narsimhadev can accept anything, whether it is hard or soft. Okay. Now, this is the mood of the Lord. This is mood of the Lord. It is not that Jagannath cannot accept because it is hard. Jagannath can eat anything. So he is Jagannath, Lord of the universe. But this is mood. This is how he reciprocates. So he accepts that, hard laddu in the form of Narsimhadev because my devotee has offered it to me. I have to accept it. Therefore, let me eat it like Narsimhadev because Narsimhadev can eat anything with his sharp, razor sharp teeth, right? So that is how the Lord reciprocates with the devotee's attitude, with the mood. If one wants a relationship with Krishna as master and servant, many people they feel that Krishna is my master. So sometimes they will not even, I have heard many devotees, they will not even say Krishna, they will say Krishna ji. And many times they even write like that. So that is the mood, okay, that Krishna ji, like that respect, that awe and reverence. And so if some devotee has wants a relationship with Krishna as master and servant, then Krishna plays the part of a perfect master. For one who wants Krishna as a son, अरे what Krishna जी? Hey Krishna, कान्हा इधर आओ. Then in the parental relationship, then Krishna plays the part of a perfect son. Arey, Nanda Baba was never angry, but Arey, Yashoda Maya is angry. So Krishna is playing the part of this perfect son. He forgets that he's the supreme God. He's so scared that now Maya can hit me. She has a stick in her hand. So his lips are trembling out of fear. His eyes are like all welling up with tears. Any moment, this huge flood is going to come out from the eyes. And before Mother Yashoda even says something, the tears start rolling out. Okay, the drama begins before anything happens. Also, so he's playing part of a perfect son. Then similarly, if a devotee wants to worship Krishna in conjugal love, that Krishna is my Prannath, he is my beloved. Some devotees may think Krishna is my husband. Some may think Krishna is my paramour. Paramour means that in the material world, it has a very, very abominable, it is a very abominable thing in the material world, but this is transcendental, this is spiritual, and it has no comparison with the material world. Paramour means that the gopis, the Vraj gopis, they have a husband, but without, they know that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, but their attachment, their attraction, their love for Krishna is so high, so much so that they have forgotten that Krishna is God. Because when we think that Krishna is God, then there is always a chance of having an ulterior motive that Krishna is God. Let me serve Krishna. Then, when Krishna becomes pleased, he will, if Krishna is pleased, we will get some, even if we don't think or we don't want, but there is a possibility. The moment we know Krishna is God, but the Vraj gopis have forgotten that Krishna is God because of their extreme love. And therefore, because of their extreme attachment, attraction, and love for Krishna, they don't mind taking all the insult and whatever the society has to say, but they have given themselves to Krishna, that Krishna, whatever pleases you, we just want that. And if our presence in your life is pleasing to you, then in the middle of the night, we will come to you. Because when you play the flute, in the flute, what is Krishna doing? Krishna is calling out the names of these gopis individually. And the gopis are, they are waking up from their sleep and running. In some of the gopis' houses, the husband wakes up and sees, Arey, where is my wife going? Immediately they try to stop her. And the gopis in separation, they leave their body there and then. And the soul goes, takes a spiritual form and goes in the Ras dance of Krishna. Because nobody can separate the Braj gopis from Krishna. That is how much they love Krishna. They cannot stay in their body. The moment their body is stopped, it is natural. They come, their spiritual form comes out from the body to join Krishna, to be with Krishna. So if a devotee wants to worship Krishna in conjugal love, Krishna perfectly plays the part of a husband or paramour. In Dwarka, Krishna is playing the part of a perfect husband. And everybody thinks that Krishna is a henpecked husband to Satyabhama, to Rukmini Devi, Jambavati, all the wives in Dwarka. Okay, in some places, Krishna is helping them in the kitchen. Rukmini Devi must be cooking, and Krishna is helping Rukmini Devi in the kitchen. Oh, what do you need? And then, as a husband, also, he is doing part of a perfect husband. He has to take care because he's the king there. He's managing everything. Therefore, he goes to the court, he takes care, does discussions, everything. When he comes back, he comes and checks with his wife, how was the day? How are you doing? If Rukmini, and then he also jokes with the wives. So there is also an episode in Bhagavatam, it is there, that when Krishna wants to joke with Rukmini Devi, Krishna says, Are Rukmini, why did you marry me? See, your father, he decided he wanted to get you married to Shishupal, who is so much better. He's actually a Kshatriya. And look at me. I have no identity also, whether I'm a Kshatriya, whether I'm actually nothing. I'm a cowherd boy. And you got married to me. You got fooled actually. See, still there is time, Rukmini. If you want, you can still go back to Rukmini Devi is so much in love with Krishna that Rukmini Devi cannot even understand, cannot uh, discriminate jokes from what is real and what is not. Rukmini Devi faints there and there, falls unconscious that what if Krishna leaves me? What if Krishna is serious? What if Krishna leaves me? It is better to die. And she falls unconscious. And then Krishna puts water on her. Photo. I'm simply joking with you. It's just a joke. So Krishna, so this is part of a husband. Husband will always joke with the wife, trying to, because they like to see the, okay, when the wife gets little angry, they find it very funny. So Krishna also plays the part of a perfect husband. And when it comes to playing the part of a perfect paramour, Krishna knows how to play that part because Krishna is Rasaraj. He's the king of all rasas. He knows how to play the part in perfectly in any relationship with the devotees. However, Krishna has admitted that his loving relationship with the damsels of Braja in conjugal love is the highest perfectional stage. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.32.22, Krishna told the gopis, Na parayaham. In Bengali, there is a word, parbona, this word, Ami parbona, I can't do it. Na parayaham, niravadya samyujam, स्वसाधु कृत्यम विबुधायुषापि वह या मा भजन दुर्जय गेह श्रृंखलाः संवृश्य तद वह प्रतियातु sadhuna. My dear gopis, your relationship with me is completely transcendental. The gopis may say that we are lusty for you, Krishna. Actually, the gopis don't have even a tinge of lust in them. It is purely unconditional love for Krishna. And unconditional love means that whether they get any satisfaction or not, whether there is any gratification for themselves or not. Unconditional love means Krishna should be fully satisfied. Krishna should be pleased. Krishna should feel happy. It is for the pleasure of Krishna. So if Krishna feels happy taking the dust of our lotus feet, then let us fill bag after bag of the dust from our feet and give it to Krishna because that will please Krishna. Even if it means that we have to go to hellish planets, that's okay. That's the love of Braj Gopis. So Krishna is saying to the Braj Gopis, my dear Gopis, your relationship with me is completely transcendental. And now Krishna is saying, and it is not possible for me to offer anything in exchange for your love. Krishna is trying to say that even if I try to give you back something, it will never match to the love that you have for me. Even after many, many births, you have given up all attachment. The Vraj Gopis, they have given up all attachment. They have a family at home. They have husband at home. They have children at home. It is not that they are not taking care of them. They are doing everything. The whole day, these Braj Gopis are slogging, taking care of the family, the in-laws, the husband, the children, doing everything that is required just so that in the night they can take darshan of Krishna, their prana. Because when they are taking darshan of Krishna, their prana, they are feeling happy and seeing their happiness and pleasure, Krishna is becoming even more happier and pleased. Just for that, they cannot live without Krishna. But Krishna is saying, Na paraham. It is not possible for me to offer anything in exchange for your love, even after many births. You have given up all attachment for material enjoyment, and you have searched after me for many, many lifetimes. These Braj Gopis have suddenly not become Braj Gopis. For many lifetimes, for many lifetimes. Actually, it is said that one who comes into this Krishna consciousness, what is Krishna consciousness? It is Bhakti Yoga or it is Buddhi Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga is same. When one comes into this Bhakti Yoga or Krishna consciousness, that means they have already performed many lifetimes of many sadhana and yoga and everything that is required, austerities, etc., 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 to come to this point where they could accept this Krishna consciousness, where they could accept Bhakti Yoga. Just to accept it, one requires to go through so many lifetimes of austerities and whatnot. All the Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, this yoga, that yoga, impersonalism, and all this speculative knowledge, everything we have gone through. Whether we have gone through or not, we don't know, because this is one way of coming to Krishna consciousness. And the other way is causeless mercy. Some Vaishnav, some pure devotee simply glanced at us, or we may have by mistake looked at some pure devotee, or they have prayed for us while we were in some other yoni, maybe. Maybe we were a dog, got hit by a car, and some pure devotee, some devotee, Vaishnav, sadhu, looked at us and prayed for the soul, for our soul. So from that dog body, we got a human body, and we got the opportunity to meet devotees. But what we do after that depends on the little independence that we have, whether we are taking it seriously or whether we are like, no, 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 we can't do so much. We have to keep a limitation. Everything needs a limitation. Otherwise, problem. Otherwise, there will be problem. And, it's not that we are in this. Srila Prabhupada says, give this one lifetime to Guru and Krishna. You have given many, many lifetimes to all your relatives and everything, your boss, everything. This one lifetime give to Guru and Krishna and finish this business of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Don't become a kripan. And we have discussed about this kripan. There is bhajan by Govinda Das. And then even in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjun says, Karpanya doshopahata swabhava, Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport a complete explanation. What does it mean to be a kripan? Let us not be kripans. So Krishna says, you have given up all attachment for material enjoyment and you have searched after me. Since I am unable to repay your love, kindly be pleased with your own activities. Whatever you are doing, you are getting so much pleasure, and I cannot reciprocate anything from that. Therefore, kindly be pleased with your own activities. When we serve Krishna, we get pleasure. In fact, when we are serving Krishna with unalloyed loving devotion, the pleasure we get, Krishna also thinks, Are, how is this devotee getting so much pleasure? Therefore, when he saw Radharani, therefore he took this decision. I have to go and check what is the pleasure that a devotee gets, what is the pleasure that Radharani is getting. That's why he took the mood of Radharani and appeared as Mahaprabhu. That's the hidden reason. Everything else is secondary. The main reason is Krishna was very much intrigued. ऐसा क्या है? What is there? I am also pleased, ठीक है, but I can see that Radharani is like 100 times more pleased than me. I have to see what is the secret. Therefore, ठीक है, ले लो राधा रानी का mood चुरा के. Let us appear as Mahaprabhu, as a devotee of Krishna, and I also will relish this mood. That's the actual reason. So anyhow, we will pause here for today, and Krishna willing will continue reading again tomorrow. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for your kind association. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्रीमद जय पताका स्वामी महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। मिताई गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि।
हरि बोल। श्री श्याम करुणामयी माता जी की जय।
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद, जय गुरु महाराज।